Peace. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. I'm looking off. I'm not looking at this. Now is the vibrate. We are not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now, I want to speak on how our spirituality, our growth is taught in layers. There's different layers to it. Matter of fact, we think about the correlation to the seven heavens and, the seven chakras. We have seven layers of like muscle, in our heart. It's always this number seven, but again, more so with layers though, these different layers of our spirituality, and I think about like, well, so say for instance, with at the beginning of my growth, where, I basically, worked through the chakras, but the main thing I was focused on was the crown and the third eye chakra. So because that was part of my main focus, that was the chakras that I was basically like, when you're focused in one area of like one chakra, your perception and focus is from that area, like, so if you operating always out of your sacral chakra, you're gonna kind of, you know, be in your emotions a lot, and always dealing with like just dealing with the sexual energy in some way, form, or fashion. If I'm always focused on the throat chakra, I'm always, I perceive things from a view of like talking and communication all the time. I'm in my crown chakra. Again, all I have is the perspective of all is one. Because again, I'm disconnected from my root chakra, a little bit in essence. So I'm only in that layer. Again, we're talking about layers, in that crown chakra layer, that vibration. So I'm only like, oh, we all are one, and God is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're only looking at that perspective and not looking at the fact of, well, don't forget I got a bodysuit, and I do have a uniqueness to my bodysuit and my consciousness, you know what I'm saying? So I must be meant to do something on a physical level, you know what I'm saying? But again, we taught in different layers, even like again on our spiritual growth, coming across a certain information. Once you get into that information and get into it good enough, then you go to the next layer or the next stage. Matter of fact, the initiation process of like secret societies, cults, or any type of little groups. Whereas like you come in, as a newbie, learn what you learn, and then you get initiated to the next stage. And our spirituality is just like that. Well, here it is where, say, for instance, chakras and crystals been existing all the time I've been, alive on this planet. But, I had to get initiated into it, growing up. Parents didn't know nothing about it or teach nothing about it, this and that. And not until I got, in my 20s, I come across this information, I got initiated in, and then once I got initiated to the crystals, the chakras, then I got initiated to occult and esoteric information. Like it's, getting initiated to that next layer or that next level. But also speaking to how the CIA with the social engineering, they try to take advantage of us being taught in layers. Because they realize how the spiritual process is going, so they know, like, say for instance, God is unconditional love and everything is one. That's a layer to, the whole fruit. Like basically, that's one layer to a fruit with many layers. Because God is unconditional love and everything is one. But again, that's a layer to it. That's the core, or the seed, but you also got the crust and the skin of the fruit, as well. You got, again, more than just that one layer, that is also true. Yes, like God is unconditional love. God is everything. I mean, source, all that is, unconditional love, and it's all one. But again, that's just a layer to, you know, to one aspect. And again, you know, the CIA with the social engineering, you know, with the pushing the hippie vibes and everybody peace and love, you know, they know that we get to a stage in our spiritual growth where we do learn it's about love, it's about peace, you know. And when we say peace, but we learn, you know, it's about peace, but not peace as in turn the other cheek and let somebody mess over you. But, you know, which they taught it in the hippie vibe as that turn the other cheek type of, you know, that vibe. And which, of course, is mixed in with, you know, some hippies picketing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you know, they basically, you know, took that aspect of spiritual growth and they played on it. Because another thing, too, we're vulnerable in that position because, you know, when we spiritually growing, you know, we just looking for information almost any and everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And again, that also leaves you vulnerable to these different little traps, you know, of information, you know, that's there to kind of just hold you in one layer of your growth, or, you know, just give you some misinformation, just throw your whole growth off, you know, in essence. But again, it comes in layers. You know, so basically they try to take advantage of us being taught in layers, and they try to get everyone focused on one layer of the spiritual growth. You know, so instead of realizing like, well, no, you also like the root chakra work, you gotta you know, you gotta be courageous and stand up for yourself and make sure you have shelter, protect your bodysuit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just sitting, you know, down in peace when people are constantly, you know, messing over you. And that doesn't mean we going against them and fight, but it's like, but be proactive in some type of way on the physical level that's really going to do something towards stopping what you want to, you know, to stop, you know. Again, they got yogis, you know, again, like the people who, you know, meditate on a extremely high level and able to exist on the, you know, the astral planes on such a level where they could actually do just as much work on that level than the physical level. There are those people out like that. That is a thing, you know, that is possible. But for the most part, unless, you know, if we're not an adept, how can I say, astral plane traveler slash, you know, meditation specialist, you know, then we're gonna be beating a little more hands-on than, you know, just meditating in the mountains somewhere. And again, because every time I bring that up, that showing to the diversity of our different purposes, you know, of course, being in this physical realm, you know, it takes some physical action, but we all, you know, uniquely different, and we all have a unique, different experience, you know. Like, it's not meant for us all to have the same experience in that essence. You know, just like as above, so below. In my body, I got some parts, some cells in my foot, some cells in my knee, some cells in my sexual organs, some cells in my stomach, my liver, you know, and they all uniquely different, you know, and have a different, unique task, you know. That's just like us, as above, so below. Because matter of fact, you know, how I would speak of in older videos, like you know, people are like the immune system to Earth, and it also is like you know, what allows information to travel, you know. It's like whatever cell in our bodies, you know, that takes information from the brain and send it to, you know, the foot to move or do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, sending information from the brain to the body to do a new dance or something like that. But that's, you know, as humans, I'm in Louisiana and I go to LA and I talk to somebody teaching them about some LA stuff. They teach me, I mean, about some Louisiana stuff. I teach them. I mean, they teach. I go to LA and teach them about some Louisiana stuff, and then as I'm out there, I learn about LA, you know, and I come back to Louisiana and tell some of my people about LA. you know, that person out there in LA telling his people about the stuff he learned from me in Louisiana, you know, like it's exchanging information, or, you know, like moving goods around, you know, like I come from here and I go out there with my crystals. Now my crystals is working in LA instead of Louisiana. They're working in a different part of body, you know, as above, so below. Like if I move from the brain and go to the heart, you know, it's a different area, you know, transferring information and picking up on new information as I go to a new area, you know. But again, that as above, so below aspect. So again, we taught in layers, and there's different stages to our growth. You know, it's just like climbing a ladder. You know, it's a continuous climb. You know, think about Jacob's ladder up to Pioneer. You know, you know how evident could they get right there? But anyway, when you climb that ladder, you know, you don't want to get stuck. Like if you stop while holding the ladder, you ever been on a monkey bar swinging across, and then you kind of lose your momentum and you kind of get stuck? But then it's like harder to move from there, you know. If you don't fall, like once you stop your momentum, sometimes a lot of times we fall down. But you know, when you just hanging on one rung of the ladder, you know, your arms get tired. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's possible for you to fall back down. So you want to keep it, you know, constantly climbing, constantly. It's a constant growth, you know. But again, we receive a lot of our spiritual information in layers, you know. Because say, for instance, at one point of our growth, it's good for us to know that everything is one. You are unconditional love being, you know, you are a high vibration, you know, you are more about peace. But then it comes to a part of the growth where it's like, all right, now that you done got the, you know, getting your being balanced and stuff. Now it's time for you to know that it ain't meant for you to be nice all the time. You know, it's like first we had to teach you how to, you know, be one with your emotions. Then we let you know, like, but hey, express them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's in layers, you know, compared to if you just learned the lesson of, well, yeah, just express your emotions and this and that, but you haven't learned that it's about being in the now and that you don't want to let your emotions get out of hand. You know what I'm saying? If you just have that approach, then you're going to, you know, again, you're going to be missing part of the lesson because you just, you know, hanging on one rung of the ladder or just in one circular area, you know, without getting the other information. Again, it comes in layers, and each layer is important to the whole, you know. It's not one part. It's not. Hey, it's not one. It's not one layer that's important to the onion. It's the whole onion. You know, it's all the layers that count. It's not just the, oh, well, you know, we take the onion and peel off every layer and just use just one layer right here. It's like, no, you know. And then what would be the point of source, you know, having that vegetable grow like that if it was meant for us to only use one layer? So all that grew for nothing in essence, you know. So that's also another aspect to that as well. But again, just not getting caught in that one layer of teaching, because that's the area that get preyed on the most, is that you know, unconditional love, everything is one. If you know, without having the other teachings and the other layers, you know, your perception and your experience will again be a little you know, like of a better word, a little off, you know, because again, you're kind of in which though your higher self gonna put you in situations to show you that, you know, you should be, is about being authentic, you know, not just being nice to be nice. It's about being authentic. So the universe is gonna put you in situations, your higher self universe gonna put you in situations that's gonna make you realize, all right, maybe I need to you know, stop being overly nice to everybody or this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna show you. But again, it's all different, you know. Learn about the root chakra, you know, grounding yourself, shelter, this and that. Then you learn about the sacral chakra, you know, tapping more into the emotions and how you feel, sexual energy, you know, go to the solar plexus with the confidence and creativity, You know, like it's different level. You know, go to the heart chakra where you really learn about the the unconditional love vibes. You know, and again in layers, dealing with your heart. You know, dealing with your confidence. You know, dealing with your root. You know, your physical body, your animalistic nature. You know, controlling and dealing with that first. You know, the root chakra. You know, the red light. Stop right there and do this work. uh, And as you go, got the orange or the yellow light, As a matter of fact, you think about it, the signal lights is like an upside down chakra system, you know. The green light, if I'm not mistaken, the green light on the bottom, the yellow always in the middle, and the red on the top, that's root chakra, you could say solar plexus, sacral, and then heart chakra. Different layers. But that's basically it. Just want to share that. Again, God is unconditional love. God is everything, but God is also on a human experience in a bodysuit. And that comes with a certain aspect of carrying yourself. You know, because I kind of was like I got into that unconditional love vibe, and not realizing that it was just a layer, because I keep it real when you in that like high chakra vibe, and just constantly like God is everything, I'm God, I'm everything. Then again, you kind of lose your purpose of being down here, because here it is, you spending your time. Basically, it's like you done committed suicide without taking your body out. It's like you like fuck your body, fuck this physical world, but I'ma still be here in this body, just trying to get back to the astral plane. And it's like, and I realized like, how it didn't make any sense in essence. And of course, they got different vibes of growth, out there, but man, I forgot how I said that. But it didn't make any sense to vibe like that. Dang, I just wanted to add something. It'll come back to me. Speaking about the layers. Oh wait, when I got up out I get to these little points. And what be happening is, and two, I think, source be telling me to back out sometimes maybe. But a lot of times I just feel like, I'm just kind of pushing with the information. And every now and then I just have these little slots of, kind of losing what, moving so in the moment that I'm not holding on to what I was trying to bring, I done made videos about that. But not, again, speaking to, I think that's why I was speaking on like the high chakras and being, in my high chakra. Yeah, basically, all right, like being, you know, like committing suicide, but still being on Earth, like, and that's what, being in your high chakras and not, again, connecting with all the chakras. And matter of fact, that's what I was gonna get to, because I had the perspective of like the world was just always gonna end, like, like damn, like it felt like the apocalypse. And I say like the apocalypse, and not from a bad perspective, because again, I'm in my high chakra, so I'm looking at it like as if like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go. Like matter of fact, like like my own version of Heaven Gate. I think that was a little cult where they like committed suicide, promoted committing suicide to go back to the other side, and which I feel like, without throwing it out the window, I feel like there is some type of sauce to, that committing suicide vibe, but I feel like it has to, and I spoke about that a while back. I feel like it has to be connected with your purpose. Like you have to really feel as a part of your purpose type of vibe, on a level where it feels good. It would have to feel good with the source within. But again, I feel like we all different. We all got these different paths, and it is a fact that, we always talk about our true existence is on the other side, and again, so layers, bam, that's why Universal Fire did that for me, because I wasn't gonna speak on cults, but because certain cults focus on layers. It's like, well, yeah, we're not, we are like alien beings, and yes, we are from the stars, but you focus on that one layer of, the full truth. You just focus on one layer of that truth. Then here it is, you committing suicide and stuff like that. Because you're only looking at one layer of the situation. Because if you was looking at the full spectrum and all the layers, you would see that you got a root chakra and a body suit. And looking at the realm of like, all right, because with most of my readings, as much as I do get the vibe of like being this little bodysuit gel, and kind of like a certain little type of lockup, I do feel a vibe a lot that it still was like a choice on some level, to deal with this realm, so not just nothing that, again, like to just be on a vibe of like, well, I'm just not gonna do any, like, fuck my physical vibe. Matter of fact, and I also spoke to that. Check out my video about Venice Beach and the root chakra. A lot of people in the high chakras, and on some just kind of waiting for the world to end type of vibe, and not caring about the root chakra, so not taking care of the body, living outside in a type of manner that where the body and the temple is kind of suffering, and it's like that, again, if some people feel like that's their vibe of, their spiritual walk, cool, but again, source is balance, source is everything that's beautiful, source is providing, like, even though that person root chakra not, all the way grounded and they all in their high chakras, source is the one providing the little meals that do come through, you know what I'm saying? So showing you that source is a, your inner source. Source itself is a provider, Look at all these trees around. Like, these trees ain't shriveled up with a sign saying, give me a couple coins or this and that, Again, and I'm not knocking anybody, lifestyle and growth. We all gotta, cause matter of fact, again, I for definitely sure not gonna knock it. That's why part of my growth was being out there in Venice, and sleeping on the beach and, feeling that vibe, going through the different experiences. But, I definitely, again, just see how when we, dealing with our spiritual growth, there is layers to it, but it's about, working and going through these, different layers and not just stopping in one layer. Again, it's not, we don't buy an apple just to eat the skin and then throw the rest of it away, cause even I thought about it, like, cause of course we do sometimes peel the skin and eat just, but that's, me personally, I eat the, whole thing. But that's just basically it. Be aware that, our growth is in layers, and just not to get caught in one layer, one aspect of the growth. But at the same time, though, making sure you are being true to your unique, soulful energy, your unique vibrational signature. You definitely don't want to just be doing things just to, like, well, let me make sure, like, let me try to do all these layers, like forcefully trying to do something when it's not meant in the moment, in essence, But again, just having that conscious awareness that, we grow in layers, and that's how these different, like CIA and the government prey off of our spiritual growth. I think about the Article 13 I just did a video about, where they preying on the aspect of that, on our spiritual growth. It is about us being authentic, and it is a thing of, integrity, to where, like, I don't just, like, say, even when I bring y'all information of certain things, like, I'm like, oh, I just You know, I just heard Infinite Water say that. I just heard Red Pill, Blue Pill say that. I just heard, you know, Bobby Hemmings say like, you know, like you know, sharing what, you know, like what, because I know I didn't just automatically come up with this information, you know, but you know, again, they praying on that with Article 13. It's like, yes, it is about authenticity, but y'all making it to a point where, you know, people will be able to, you know, sue for just any, you know, any old thing, like copyrighting a small saying like, you know, uh, I love to work 25 hours, 8 days straight. They got a song by, you know, DJ DMD, you know, name called me Mr. 25 8. 25 hours, 8 days straight. You know, but if I was to say that, you know, that phrase, you know, somebody like if, you know, the DJ DMD could feel like, oh man, wait, I created that phrase. And even though somebody might have said 25 8 before that song was created, you know, uh, he would still be able to, you know, possibly, you know, bring me into the courts and, you know, try to sue. That's a whole nother thing. Go check out the Article 13 video. But again, the different layers, you know, because again, Black Panther was trying to prey on that layer of our group where we learn about, you know, our ancient ancestry and melanated roots, you know. This for everybody. White people, you're not excluded. If you got some little melanin in you and you activating it, you know. But for sure, it's more so towards the you know, quote unquote black community, as far as like, you know, when we on our spiritual growth, a lot of us just learning about Egypt and Kemet, you know, and you know Haile Selassie, and you know, and you know the whole Africa vibe, you know, like oh back to Africa, you know. So with that, you know, they were trying to get people locked in and just being a black person, you know, like where, you know, we are God on a human experience, you know, we're not just humans, you know. But again, they was trying to play, and that's why I tell people, you know, the movies and all that, you know, because does that mean the person of, you know, who created and directed Black Panther, was that his aim? You know, nah. But again, when you in that Hollywood vibe, it's somewhat you kind of indirectly gonna be playing the fence, you know, because you're gonna have to do to a certain extent what they want you to do, or some geared towards their agenda in some way, form, or fashion. That's the only reason why they're allowing for you to, you know, again to go through them. Like they're not gonna allow you to go through them if you just completely just dismantling all lies and just coming with truth in your movie. Like that's not gonna get, you know, the time of the day. You know, that movie not getting published or whatever produced. You know, but again, Black Panther movie was trying to prey on that layer of our growth where we learning about ourselves, you know. Like matter of fact, I had my early stage, you know, get my little Ankh, you know, the Eye of Horus, we learn about ourselves. But again, we are God on a human experience. We're not humans remembering about being from Africa, you know. Like it's deeper, it's way deeper than that. Again, layers. You know, that's the initial. Like, oh, you think this is still from Africa? Like they got this layer right here, but you like, oh yeah, Africa, Hotep. You know, I'm black, melanin. You know, this and that, and it's like, all right, you gonna get caught in that layer. You know what I'm saying? And again, ain't that, you know, it's all a part of the growth anyway. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, you know, reach a certain level and doesn't, you know, you don't grow past, because we all on different levels of initiation, you know. So again, it's not to be compared to anybody else group per se, but you know, that's again had that energy preying on you know, that layer to the growth. You know, also well no, it ain't a part of the growth. Well, part of the growth is accepting all that is, you know. So, all right, another way they prey on a layer of our growth, you know, with the transhumanism, you know, like we know to be fearless and not be scared of anything, but that doesn't mean to embrace computers taking over humanity as if that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? As if that's the thing to do, just because, well, I'm accepting of everything, I'm God, I'm source, so, you know, why not let the robots take over? It's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, again, preying on that, on a layer of your growth and trying to get you to accept something through, through them connecting it with an aspect to your spiritual growth. Now, put it in the movie, it's like, it's all about love of all God's creations. And if God is everything, robots are, God's creations too, and they should be able to, be able to think and do all this like us. You know what I'm saying? Again, they use that part of our growth for their agenda, promoting certain little things. And me personally, I'm a firm believer of, if you're gonna transition, you're gonna transition. And with this place being a quote unquote matrix, whether you transition from a tornado, hurricane, or, somebody, whatever, or at the hands of a robot or a computer, what's the difference? Really. But I get the aspect though, where though at the same time though, the way they're trying to push with the transhumanism is they just trying to get, robots to replace everything on a level so we're not connecting with each other soulfully, like where we just all sitting in the house with a surrogate, a robot that go outside for us, this and that. We done lost, matter of fact, and it'll breed a type of human that no longer could walk and talk and do things or even produce by themselves, because generations of people just sitting in the house in a little pod, connecting to their surrogate. Go watch the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis. That another aspect, playing on that energy. But again, dealing with, technology, but not to the level where it just overruns everything, like kind of like a Matrix where the robots take over to where they're like, all right, well, fuck that. We gonna control these fucking humans. Which indirectly, that's what's trying to go down right now, with the reptilian energies, these lower vibrational energies. These energies are this physical matrix that cannot go to higher realms, so they just trying to keep, misery loves company. How could they have fun without company? So they trying to keep beings that are of higher realms thinking that, oh, this is your true existence. Like, oh no, this is, like they're trying to get everybody to feel like, oh yeah, Earth and love humanity. The movie Kubo, being scared of the God, him, and making the God part seem evil. It's all about humanity and being a human. Yay. Like we are gods on the human experience. They didn't teach like Kubo, all these Disney movies they talking about, again, which has certain truths in it. That's how they reel you in. Matter of fact, again, shout out to my brethren Brad for using that analogy, certain truth, so instead of putting a whole falsehood out there, so say if I'm fishing, and I put a fake worm, on my hook that's already obviously fake, and I got my fake worm, a fish could be like, oh man, that's just all the way, like, look at that fucking shit, that shit fake like a motherfucker. But then they be like, well, look over there though, that's the real one. And then they go to that real worm, then that real worm got a hook on it too. You know what I'm saying? Well, again, they pull you in with certain, with some truth, but then there's a hook underneath that truth. As soon as you bite on it, oh, pull that big thing in. We got us a big one. Shoot him, Elizabeth, shoot him. That's a tree shaker there, Shay. They're like swamp people. Shout out to my Louisiana folk. But again, that's the whole situation with them sharing some truths is, again, that little hook, that little, is a real worm on the hook. Soon you're like, oh shit. But you're not seeing the hook, underneath the worm, Think about the hook in the songs, you know, the chorus is called a hook because it's a repeated phrase that hooks your subconscious. Watch for the hook. But that's basically it. The hands getting kind of cold, boy. There's a little nip out here. I'm showing my hands as if they look blue, or if you could see the coldness. I was getting cold, boy. Look. But you know, that's basically it. And again, just being aware that the CIA with the social engineering vibes, which they ass not even supposed to be fucking with us domestically. They supposed to be on some espionage, fucking over other people. Not, not to say, look, I wish that upon somebody else, but nah, you know, that's what their job claimed to be. But yet they up and they testing all kind of shit domestically. You know, again, you got the California situation with these fires, you know. Got laser technology, you know, that was dealt with Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was working on these things. You know, J.P. Morgan and the Rockefeller, you know, knew what was up and was dealing with it. You know, again, Rockefeller, Standard Oil Company. This guy continuously deals with oil, knowing that Tesla, you know, showed that we have free energy on this planet, you know, and that you could tap into it. But they was like, oh no, I can't have that. Like, y'all ain't about to be getting free energy around here. We're gonna keep telling people that oil is the best thing to use to burn and all this. We're gonna keep fucking up the environment and everything. That's how I roll. But you know, that's basically it. Again, though, all these different layers, you know. Matter of fact, Hollywood gets at that layer of your growth where you realize that you are a star, you know, in essence on a human experience, you know, and that it is meant for you to express yourself, you know, to the highest level. Because when you think about it, the only reason why some of us don't feel like expressing ourselves to the highest level, this and that, because there's still some chakra work we having to do. You know, because even for myself, included, constantly, you know, making sure the chakra work is on point to have that certain level of confidence, you know, with dealing with certain things. You know, but I digress. I forgot. That's basically it. Yep. Peace. Happy now. Now the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace.